When I first tried this yesterday, it legitimately felt like a completely different game. It raises the ceiling by a lot.
Subscribe!
So you guys might have seen the previous video. Watering waves is not that hard. And today, we are going to be talking about Zenless Zone 0 is not that easy. Now, once again, this is not really, or rather, this is not made with a comparison for both games. It is just strictly based on game 1 versus game 1, and then game 2 versus game 2. So the reason why I wanted to talk about it, I was trying to gather my thoughts because, you know, we always just do this on the go. I was trying to gather my thoughts for this Zenless Zone 0 video because at the end of the day, I'm also more or less a Zenless Zone 0 tourist, right? For the most part. Maybe a little bit less than Watering Waves, but nonetheless still a tourist, right? I don't really know the pitch perfect rotations as well. I am basically trying to, you know, look at my instincts, and then as long as I don't die, I'm good. Like, I wouldn't play a stage thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna style on the enemies and end all with an insane geared wipeout screen, or it's not a wipeout, right? So as long as if I live, I'm good. So by that definition, I'm also pretty casual in Zenless Zone 0. And the reason why I wanna make this video is that we also just finished the final endgame for Zenless Zone 0. Quote unquote finished the Zenless Zone 0 battle tower. So we finished it in a sense where we cleared floor 30, which technically is like the final reward because you get this little thing that you get this emblem. That's it. That being said, the floor apparently goes all the way up to floor 999. So it is quite a bit, to say the least. And you will need to carry on from floor 25 all the way to floor 100. And you can't use any revives, and you don't have any access to heals because you don't have a healer in Zenless Zone 0 unless you have this butter bitch called Avocaboo, which gives you this heal. Right? Other than that, your HP is basically just gonna be there. And there's also a time limit. The reason why I think that Zenless Zone 0 is not that easy, and I'm just gonna be comparing this to Zenless Zone 0 itself, is because I think at the start of Zenless Zone 0, a lot of players were dunking on Zenless Zone 0 for two main reasons. I think number one was the TV, and number two was Zenless Zone 0 is way too easy, right? We have seen a lot of content creators talking about this. I did the blindfolded run, all that kind of stuff. It was easy for the content that we had back then. Fast forward a little bit, we had access to units like Qingyi, Zhu Yuan, Jane Doe, which is like, holy shit, she's a gear of our times with like infinite dodges. So I would say that generally speaking, the upgrades to our roster starts to make the end game look less challenging. And I am like zero whale in Zenless Zone 0. I don't have a single Eidolon. Every single one of my units is like, okay, except for this. Oh my fucking god. Someone shoot me. Except for like all of my limited units, they are essentially M0. And generally speaking, they provide a pretty substantial bump up to our damage output, as well as comfort when it comes to dodging, right? Jane Doe's dodges, Qingyi's dodges, Zhu Yuan's ridiculous edge. So what I'm trying to get is, for quite a while, I think Zenless Zone 0 was probably not that difficult. But this kind of changed with the Zenless Zone 0 battle tower. Not because of the fact that it went up to a floor 100 or even 999. Not because you can't heal. Not because you can't revive. You can't use items. You can't use all that. You just have to basically go in raw. But I think the most important reason is that they removed the indicator. All enemies no longer display gold or red flash indicators when attacking. For you guys, I'm not sure if you have tried. So this happens from floor 26 and above. When I first tried this yesterday, it legitimately felt like a completely different game because you don't have the visuals nor the audio cues, and you actually have to open your fucking tiny ass eyes, or at least for me, at least because I'm an Asian, to look at where the boss is hitting and actually dodge / parry that. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing to dodge, because technically you have infinite dodge in Zenless. You have a pretty wide parry window for like Big Ben, for your inter swapping, or for Caesar. But it was definitely harder compared to when we had the yellow / red flash indicators. It legitimately felt like a very, very different game. So for players who, finished up to floor 25, which is where all the resets are at, try out floor 26 and above. And I think it brought about a very unique experience that I otherwise would not have gotten unless my chat forced me to try it. And then when I went in, it was like clueless. And it was something else. And I gotta say, when we beat that floor 30 boss, oh my god, the satisfaction was pretty good. Because on top of all this butter bitch nonsense, the floor 30 boss, I'm talking about specifically the ballerina boss, you have to kill them both at the same time, or they never die. Because they have infinite revives. So you actually have to fucking kill them both. And like, I kept getting stuck at I kill one, they revive the other, I kill one, they revive the other, and it just went on forever. Because my fucking controls are not locked in. And I'm a goddamn tourist, right? Unfortunately, that was a problem that I had to experience. And I haven't seen this amount of utter bullshittery for a long ass time, right? For a long ass time. So, with that being established, this then brings me to the point. I think for the previous video where I made is where the game's difficulty doesn't have to correlate with whether a game is fun. And in my opinion, this exact same sentiment can also be applied to Zenless Zone Zero. I think Zenless Zone Zero, even with the quote-unquote easy mode, with the yellow flash, the red flash, the audio cues, the infinite Jane Doe dodges, the infinite Qing Yi dodges, the infinite Caesar parries, assist points, all that, it makes it very, very satisfying for a player to just, oh my god, you feel like you are him. This game makes me feel like I am him up until floor 26, where they took like half of the things away because of the indicators, and you actually had a step up. In both ends of the spectrum, I had a lot of fun playing with Zenless Zone Zero's combat because the moves are very flashy. I'm not even going to talk about the gyats because that is just... The moves are very flashy, and you had this degree of freedom. I'm sure you can definitely achieve this with like other games as well, but I felt like I had a lot of freedom when it comes to like moments where I felt like I outplayed the end. I'm not sure if I'm making sense to you guys. I felt like I was him pre-level 25, post-level 25. So yes, I do believe that Zenless Zone Zero is not as easy as it seems, especially when you get onto these stages. But on the flip side, they are technically also optional, because the only reward you get above floor 25 is this butter bitch. And for every single floor, it was not 10 polychromes, 20 polychromes, or even 5 polychromes. It was 10,000 credit for every single floor. So one could honestly just argue, you know what, fuck it. I don't even want to try it. It's not even worth my time, worth my effort, all that kind of stuff. And I think that is completely fair. So it's really up to you to decide whether you want to try this yourself, because do remember that if you take any damage and if you don't use the avocado or the explorer boo, the damage is permanent. So it's more so of a way to find out if you are truly him as you go on higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. I believe at floor 100, you also unlock a secret cutscene and a level 100 badge. So there's also that. It is purely for your own achievements. And I think that gives me, even though it doesn't really impact the gameplay at all, but it makes me feel like, oh wow, there's this kind of like mini achievements that you could accomplish. Unlike like, let's just say for example, like Honkai Starbucks. You do a 0 cycle, the only people that care are YouTube comments. So like, you get what I'm saying? And people can actually go above and beyond. Because I believe I saw this video, I think yesterday or like this afternoon. There was this CN dude at floor 985. Or like 987. Which is I don't even know how the fuck that is even possible. I cannot comprehend that being possible because I got to level 30 and half my crew are dead. So if you want it, you could get it. Okay, granted, it's probably with M6, it's probably with all that kind of stuff. But this goes on even for whales, right? Like for whales in maybe other games, even if you had the M6, I don't think there is a content where it can stop you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you can more or less just clear, quote unquote, clear the game. Whereas for Zenless Zone 0, whales with even M6 units, such as my lovely streamer Fog Master, can also face, you know, a little bit of resistance. And he still has to work his way to slowly move up to above and beyond floor 100, right? Maybe one day we'll see Fog at level 99, and then by then we'll be like, oh my god, he is him, right? So that is basically what I'm trying to say, which is comparatively speaking, I think this game mode, specifically Battle Tower, floor 26++, it definitely feels like a very different game, at least for myself, as a quote-unquote tourist. And the ceiling for the amount of things you can do in Zenless Zone 0 got raised tremendously compared to before this Battle Tower. Of course, at the end of the day, it is still up to you if you want to do them. It is an arbitrary, you know, accomplishment because technically it ends at level 30. But there's now things that you can do and accomplishments that you can achieve in-game. And it's not artificial, right? It's not an artificial zero cycle. It's not an artificial one-man clear. And you could technically still do that, by the way. I'm pretty sure some fucking crazy fuck can do like a one-man clear floor 100. Is that possible? One-man clear floor 100. I don't know. Alright, someone out there is probably gonna do it, right? One-man clear. I think we saw like a one-man clear Billy on like floor 70 or something. So if you want it, you can probably do it, right? Yeah, solo Billy, solo. So it is still there for you if you really want to be an absolute fucking madlet. And I think that's pretty good. That's pretty great. At this point, I think we have also come to the end of close to the end of today's video. Let me just show Yanagi's massive tits real quick. So yeah, once again, this is not made to compare. Although I know for a fact you are gonna start gacha tribalism again. But right now, Zenless Zone 0's Battle Tower endgame, it raises the ceiling by a lot. Whether is it fun or not fun, or the most fun, the best endgame in a gacha game, that is completely subjective and it depends if you like it or not. Because I can also see the flip side to the argument, right? Oh, they are HP sponges. Oh, the bosses have like fucking ridiculous patterns. And oh, it's just a game of memory. As long as you learn the boss patterns, as long as you stall long enough for Avakabu to heal you back up, it's honestly not even that difficult, right? So there can definitely be the flip side of the argument. And that's ultimately going to be up to the player base yourself. Me personally, I haven't tried anything beyond 31. I did have a lot of fun and satisfaction from my time between level 26 to level 30. And I believe that the runs will also be uploaded to YouTube at a slightly later date from today. So, yeah. With that, I feel like, what if Zenless Zone 0 keep releasing more contents such as Battle Tower? Because one thing I've noticed, this is my closing thought, right? This is my final thought. One thing I've noticed is that we have 2 of this Battle Tower thingies. My bad. We have 4, 5, if you want to consider this. 1, 2, 3, 6. 4, 5, 6. So, I'm not saying they're gonna do it. I don't know if they're gonna do it. But if they do it, there is quite a lot of things to do if they keep going down this path. Because I believe that for the past couple of patches in Zenless Zone 0, they have added a brand new endgame like every single patch, if I'm not mistaken. We started off with just this, and then they added this. And then now we have the tower. This thing is still empty. We got this butter bitch. The mystery of what the fuck is this? Oh wait, I'm a tourist. It's just random stuff. We have this Nest, Throne, Infernal Reap. with the point system where Fob got like a billion points. So, yeah. If you're thinking about Zenless Zone 0 still being too easy, there's nothing to do, and all that kind of stuff, I think you might come back to a very different game within the next couple of patches, or even decide to come today, right? So, with that, we have come to the end of this content over here, this discussion. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Word of the day is going to be absolutely massive. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join TikTok, and join Twitter. All the best for gacha pools. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.